Philippines the future of the earth climbing. Right now, we will facing man-made disaster of global scale. The greatest threaten thousands of years, climate change. If we don't take action, the collapse of our civilization, of the extinction of much of natural world, the world, people who spoken, the message is clear. Time is running out.
A group of climate change organizations have
emissions of greenhouse gases.
Climate change is now happening.
Indonesia says it's
10 million tons of.
The Philippines tops a list of countries most susceptible to hazards caused by climate change.
Ito ang dahilan ng pagkakaroon ng mga bagyong gaya ng Super Typhoon Yolanda at Bagyong Ondoy.
What is climate change? Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. These shifts may be natural, such as through variations in the solar cycle. But since the 1800s, human activities have been the main driver of climate change. Primarily due to burning fossils, fuels like coal, oil, and gas. Burning fossil fuels generates greenhouse gas emissions that act like a blanket wrap around the earth, trapping the sun's heat and raising temperatures.
Land degradation. Beyond the loss of agricultural land, soil erosion has other negative repercussions. In streams and rivers, it has increased pollution and sedimentation, blocking these waterways and resulting in a loss in fish and other species. Additionally, deteriorated soil are frequently less able to retain water, which can make flood worse. By reducing soil erosion and degradation as well as the loss of valuable land to desertification, sustainable land use can help to lessen the effect of livestock and agriculture. The loss of rich soil reduces the ability of the land to support agriculture, result in formation of new deserts, contaminates waterways, and may change how water moves across the terrain, potentially increasing the frequency of flooding.
The main target audiences are city officials and representatives. Stop working for departments of environment and greening, urban planning, public spaces, public health, sustainable development, environmental justice, sustainable procurement, as well as people who don't have much knowledge about climate change, as well as students and those who experience climate change.
Loss of biodiversity. Numerous environmental services that biodiversity offers are essential to people's well-being both now and in the future. The effects of climatic conditions on terrestrial and marine ecosystem have an impact of human health both directly and indirectly. Climate is an essential component of ecosystem functioning. Ocean acidification has an impact on marine biodiversity in relation to the amount of carbon in the atmosphere. Climate variability has an impact on terrestrial biodiversity because extreme weather events such as drought and flooding have a direct impact on ecosystem productivity and the availability of ecosystem.
Matagal na usapin ang issue ng climate change pero kamakailan muli itong umingay dahil sa babala ng ilang eksperto. Dito naman sa Pilipinas may ilang lugar na posible raw mabura sa mapa kapag lumala pa ang epekto ng global warming at climate change. Yan ang unang balita ni Darling Kai.
Paano kung malaman mong ang inyong lugar maaaring mabura na sa mapa? Posible raw yang mangyari sa 2030 o 8 taon lang mula ngayon. Ilang bahagi ng Pasay, Maynila, Parañaque, Las Piñas, Valenzuela, Navotas, Malabon, pati Cavite. malaking bahagi ng Bulacan, ilang lugar sa Bicol, sa Samar, Surigao, Davao at iba pang bahagi ng Pilipinas.
Increase in extreme weather events. An increase in the severity and frequency of extreme weather events is one of the most obvious effects of global warming. The rise in billion-dollar catastrophe, which is depicted here, is a sign of the economic impact of extreme weather. This calculation don't take into consideration losses to natural capital, the cost of healthcare, the value of human life, the frequency, severity, and effects of some types of extreme weather events are predicted to worsen due to climate change. For instance, sea level rise intensifies the effect of coastal storms, and warming can make weather supply more vulnerable to droughts.
Rising sea level, larger population, and more expensive coastal real estate are now at risk from sea level as a result of coastal areas fast grow in the recent decades. This development increased the possibility of significant property damage in the coastal areas and is predicted to persist. The main physical effect of sea level rise are beach erosion, inundation of deltas, flooding, and the loss of numerous marshes and wetlands as a result of saltwater intrusion. Increased salinity will probably become a concern in coastal aquifers and estuary system.
Specifically, we want to create an advocacy video to promote the climate change by publishing a video presentation to help the people to know more about climate change. Measurable. While growing coalition countries is committing to net zero emission by 2050, about half of emission cut must be in place by 2030 to keep warming below 1.5 Celsius. Attainable. The 100 least emitting countries generate 3% of the total emissions. The 10 countries with the largest emission contribute 60%. Relevant Sustainable Development Goals and the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change and the Paris Agreement, three broad categories of an action and cutting emission, adapting to climate impact, and financing required adjustment. Switch energy system from fossil fuels to renewable like a solar or wind would reduce the emission drive climate change. Time bound between 2020
and 2030.
If we don't protect our nature, we can protect ourselves.